Heyo everybody, Haku here with my review of Tower of Gods chapter 278. So I'm pretty sure that makes it season 2 episode 198. And we just started the leaving the Yuri's a Hard arc and going into the Name Hunt Station arc. So this one I have super high hopes for. Like, this whole chapter was like so good that right after my live reaction I went and reread it then. But even past that, I have really high hopes for this because I really want to see like Team Bomb, Team Novik, and Team Ship all finally reunite and start climbing the tower together again. Now, we might split up later on down the road, but I'm really hoping that we at least join up again for now. Because I don't know, I don't really like our team being all split apart that much. And we know Team Ship, they're our allies from Volume 1, and I really want to see them traveling with Bomb again. So starting the chapter, we actually start with the sort of name announcement, that cameo that we got last chapter with Ron and Novik and Dan and Jaja. We get that, except now we get it from Team Novik's point of view. And we kind of follow them for a good little bit during this chapter, and I really liked that, seeing it from their perspective. We find out that they just crossed the Sixth Veil, whatever that means, and along the way they had, of course, the regulars for a floor go up in a, I guess they go up in the, what are they called again? The little suspender ships or something? But they use the ships to get up there, and all the rest of the regulars that they arrived with from the last floor, they got separated by them by sort of trying to go ahead, and then I guess somebody caused an explosion or something that separated the two, so they just sort of left without the rest of the regulars. So they're already ahead of the other regulars that passed the last floor along with them. And then reaching here, they get that announcement of their names, and they don't know about it yet. And these cute little teddy bears in armor sort of come at them, and of course Ron just destroys them all. And right after Ron destroys all these little teddy bear guys, we hear a voice, or see where a voice is coming from Jaja's lighthouse, and it says, you know, it's cramped in here, or confining in here, or something like that. So I guess that's likely Beta. Beta is probably smuggled in the lighthouse, because they might have to smuggle Beta from floor to floor, since he technically isn't a regular. But since he is technically an ignition weapon, I wonder if he could travel with them the entire way, just saying, you know, he's my weapon. He's not a regular, he's an ignition weapon. So that's kind of an interesting thing. Would, like, the tower officials consider him a weapon, since technically that is what he is? So we cut back to Team Ship talking about how Ron is wasting so much energy and how he's going to regret it once he gets here. We also find out that they're hunting a dude named Kaiser, that they want to take his name. Anak says, you know, Kaiser will show up when the train shows up, so we should just wait for then. Andrasi, of course, says that she only cares about hunting the guy that's on the train, of course referencing Bomb. At least assuming she's referencing Bomb. And then sort of we see Hatsu again, and Hatsu's new sword looks hella cool. It's nice to see that he finally got a sword back, since he didn't have one the last time we saw him. And he has this really awesome traditional type of outfit, and I really like that personally, because you remember way back in Volume 1, like, Hatsu was sort of the stuffy traditional type of guy, and Kun always made jokes about it. But then when we saw him again at the workshop battle, he had a more contemporary look. But I just feel like this traditional looking Hatsu is a bit back to the original, and I really like that. Somebody brought up in the comments how they were a little bit disappointed that he doesn't look like he's going to be using his two-sword style anymore. I'm a little disappointed because that style was cool. I'm not totally sure that he won't use it again, but my personal thoughts are that he probably won't. He'll probably have some sort of new technique. So I don't know how I feel about that. I like the old one, but I'm sure that I'll like the new one as well. So it's going to be different, but not necessarily worse. Also, I want to note that with Ship's team, we don't see, of course we don't see Paracle, but we don't see Amigo Chaz, Verity, or Vespa, which leads me to believe that SIU might have decided to just ditch those three, and honestly, I'd kind of be okay with that. I wasn't really connected to any of those three very much. I didn't really like the characters all that much, so sad to see Amigo Chaz go, because he was like part of the original group, but other than that, I didn't care much for Vespa or Verity, so I'm totally cool with them being gone. Next, of course, we get some dude alerting some guy named Lord Hess, who's freaking giant, by the way. Hess looks pretty badass in my opinion, and he alerts Lord Hess that somebody by the name of somebody with the name of Kuhn has arrived at the station. So of course Hess says, you know, I've got to go hunt that name. Now, I don't think that Hess is Kaiser. At least at this point, I don't think he's Kaiser. I think later on in the chapter, Yuri mentions that Kaiser has a bunch of subordinates that also stay around the station that are going to be a threat. So I'm thinking Hess might be one of Kaiser's subordinates that's also really badass and a threat, but it gives us more good antagonists to fight against. So we go back to the defeat of the Grey Guardian, and Bomb Kun and Rack are hilarious. I love how much we're seeing from the characters and all the character interaction lately. It's been really, really great. Like, from the Dollar Show onward, all the character interaction and seeing a little bit of each character has all been really well done. And of course, then we get Albelda wondering to herself, you know, how is it that Bomb just sort of shrugged off getting the power of all those souls and sort of just dealt with it? And what is it that makes him so special? My personal bet, I'm thinking it's just because he's an irregular, or because of the reason that he was in that cave that we still don't know. I don't quite think it has to do with the thorn, or that he was just lucky or something. I think it's just that because he's an irregular, he breaks the rules that you would normally think would work in the tower. Now, Joaquin was looking badass. For translation real quick, I always say Joaquin because I know like Joaquin is Joaquin, like the common Spanish name. But like I think the actual and I was like, well, SIU names a lot of characters after like soccer players and different like athletes from around the world. So I was thinking maybe that's why he named him Joaquin and he just put an H instead of a J. But I know that also if you look at the Korean characters, I think the names, the actual Korean characters say Hoaquin. So I guess leave me what you guys like to use or what you guys think is right, whether you like Joaquin or Hoaquin as a better name. Because at first I said Hoaquin every time, but then I got more into saying Joaquin because I thought that's what SIU was trying to mean. But maybe he does mean Hoaquin. I have no idea with the translation of the name. But that aside, like, Joaquin's part in this was awesome. The way he chopped up that Guardian, it was really badass. And of course, that means that they've passed the 39th floor, we find out. So Team Rachel is already a full floor ahead of the floor that we just passed. So it's nice to see that maybe they'll get to the floor of test and build up strength a little. So then when we come to attack them again, it'll be a lot more of a difficult fight. Because I felt like in the Dollar Show, though it was super entertaining and really tense in a lot of parts, I do think looking back at it in hindsight, we did get off pretty easy and defeated them pretty well. And beyond that, Rachel says she has a plan, and I thought that was really cool, actually. Like, the way she looked all serious and devious and stuff, that was really cool, because I'd love to see Rachel's team get, like, really powerful and become, like, a real powerhouse team that we would just struggle so hard fighting against, and maybe not even be able to defeat them at this point. So I really do want to see Rachel and her team get stronger, because I love when a series has good, strong antagonists to give you a threat, to give you something to fight against and have to deal with. So Yuri calls sort of a group meeting, and she asks, like, anybody who wants to stay on the train and not go on to the floor of death, speak up now, you can stay here. The one notable one for me was Albelda saying, "Oh, I'd love to go, but I can't leave the train." And that was super cute, but I'm really hoping they find a way for her to leave the train, because I would love to see Albelda continue climbing the tower with them. It might not be possible, though, because I think even Joaquin can't leave the train, can he, until he gets his last sibling back. So does one of them have to absorb the other before they can even leave the train? Or is SIU going to do something where he's like, nah, because of this reason that they figure out they can leave the train? So I don't know. I hope they do find a way for Joaquin and Albelda to be able to leave the train without fusing together. And like I said, I think it might be cool if, say, like, when Joaquin is defeated, like, Joaquin gets locked away because he's evil or whatever, and then Anna and Vicente go to just return to wherever, and David as well, and then maybe Albelda says, I'll stick with you guys and continue climbing the tower with you. That'd be cool. Another thing that I've seen brought up with Albelda's character is that I don't remember if it was Evan or Yuri, but one of them said that she was a ranker's strength, but that was before she gave the power to Bomb. So I'm wondering if when she gave that rage power to Bomb, she sort of made it so that she is regular strength now, and that's how she took on the test with them and stuff. So I'm thinking that maybe she's regular strength now, and she's still strong and stuff, but she's not like too overpowered, because I would really love to see her climb with Bomb's team. Also, Prince, Miseng, Cherry, Boro, and Sachi all do specifically say that they want to go. So Evan and Yuri outline their next challenge, which is to get off at the name hunt station on the next floor, and they have 2 days to steal the name of a dude named Kaiser. Now, Sachi says that he knows Kaiser because Kaiser's one of the 3 strongest D-class like him, and even though they're both in the 3 strongest D-class, Kaiser's incredibly powerful. He's been ruling over the name hunt station for over 1,000 years, and he has a huge number of subordinates also that will be at the name hunt station. So they have to be prepared to fight him and his subordinates and try to steal his name, because the name hunt station has a special rule that if somebody fights somebody, the winner in the battle takes everything the loser has, even their name. So a winner could join one of the 10 families, they could get all the money that they have, all the power in the tower that they have, like influence-wise. They can take every single thing from the person they defeat. So that means that Kaiser hasn't been defeated in over 1,000 years, so it'll be really interesting to see how our team plans to defeat him. So Bomb finally remembers to return to the rice pot, so it does look like we'll probably get the rice pot training off screen, and then maybe follow Team Ship and Team Novik for a little bit, and then when Bomb and everyone arrives, we'll figure out what the results of that training were. I don't think we're actually going to get to see the training itself. But I'm fine with that, because I think we can just sort of do the training off screen. Like fights and games and stuff, I want to see on screen, but I'm okay with them just saying, they trained for a couple days or something, and them just saying it happened off screen. I'm fine with that. Because I don't think we need, full chapters on training. Some manga and comics do that, but I don't think we particularly need it here, because we move at a really fast pace with Tower of God, so I'm not sure that we need actual training arcs. Now, at the entrance to the name hunt station, Hess meets Ron and the rest of Team Novik, and he says, you're the guy from the Kun family, I'm here to hunt your name. So that's really cool, and again, I think that And Hess looks so badass. He's a giant. He's like Ron, Novik, and the rest are only like knee height to him. So I do think that it's a little bit too early to see Kaiser. I don't think we're going to see him until we get there. I think Hess is just one of his subordinates. And I do think since they made a point to mention how much power Ron has wasted, that he might lose. Because I don't think we're going to get a big fancy arc like this with a special rule like taking a person's name, unless that special rule is going to come into play. And the two most likely ways I see it coming into play is Ron gets defeated and has his name stolen, and he has to try to get his name back. Or somebody that could happen to somebody else too, where they get their name stolen and have to try to get it back. Or it could have something to do with Bomb. Maybe Kaiser defeats Bomb, and then Bomb has to come back and fight him a second time, because we know that Bomb has two names. He has 25th Bomb and Jovial Grace. So it would be interesting if somebody defeated him and took one of his names and he just used the other. Or if, like, Kaiser defeated him and took the name Jovial Grace and Bomb was like, you can keep it, and then just moved on to the next floor. I don't know. Something like that could be pretty funny. So I don't know where they're going with this, but I do think that rule is probably going to come into play in one of those sort of ways. So for this chapter itself, I thought the art was amazing. The art was really high quality this chapter, even compared to a lot of others. Maybe not to some of the fight chapters, but it still had really, really good art. This arc is super exciting so far, and I'm really hyped for it. I really want that reunion so much. And we got a lot of progress. This was overall a really great chapter. Not like perfect, not like Bomb versus Joaquin level or anything, but this was really freaking good. So I'm going to give it like 9 evil plans out of 10. This was like really good. I could recommend all day for people to just reread this chapter. This one was good. And I think just the setup and the characters, I think that this is a good example of what Tower of God is. Like, if you're trying to get somebody into it without spoiling too much, maybe this chapter is a good one. But I don't know. I like this one a lot. Me personally. So 9 out of 10. I'm going to stop rambling now. Like if you guys did like the video, comment down there and tell me what you thought of it for sure, and tell me what you thought of my thoughts on it. It wasn't perfect, but it was really, really damn great. Subscribe for more Tower of God, One Piece, The Walking Dead, and a lot more, because I will be posting a lot more, hopefully. And I guess just follow on Twitter if you want updates, because I'll tweet out there and tell you all when I'm posting something new or pushing anything back. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching once again, and I'll see you all next time.